I'm Daniel Hawkdorf.
And I'm Prisha.
And today we're going to talk about alliances in World War I. This is the introduction. World War I. The war to end all wars. By the end of this horrendous war, 20 million people had died. Europe was left in ruins, economies destroyed, families broken apart, and governments toppled. But what led to this appalling war to happen? Here is my answer. Alliances.
Why would you make an alliance? So why would you actually make an alliance? Why would all of these countries make alliances in the first place? As many European countries were gaining lots of power through colonies around the world, and from scientific and engineering advancements, tensions would obviously rise. Different European countries would all be in a massive power struggle to become the most powerful of them all. These countries were all very scared and suspicious of each other. Every major power was scared to lose their resources, power, or even land. To stop any kind of aggression from happening, there would be alliances between countries who had common interests, possibly against another country.
Here's one of the first alliances between European powers. The name of this alliance is the Dual Alliance. But why did this happen? And what are the countries that aligned? Well, the countries that aligned were Germany and Austria-Hungary, and this happened on October 7th, 1879. This alliance was actually one of the most shocking alliances at the time, considering the recent Austro-Prussian War. For those who don't know where Prussia is or was, it used to be part of the German Empire back then. However, both shared one thing in common, which is the fact that they were very, very suspicious of Russia, who had a massive land size as well as a big army, although Russia was not very supplied at the time with guns and ammunition. In fact, during World War I, only 1 in every 3 soldiers had a gun. So when there was a battle with Russia against, Germany, for example, one Russian soldier held the gun with a few people behind him, waiting for the one with the gun to die, so the others behind him could take their gun and keep on fighting. After the dual alliance was made between the German Empire and Austria-Hungary, they promised that they would support and defend each other if Russia were to attack. Some people saw this alliance as a good option to prevent the separation of the German Empire, and to ensure peace and non-violence. The history behind this alliance is also quite interesting and intriguing, because it was formed in 1878. Russia defeated the Ottoman Empire in the recent Russo-Turkish War. Eventually, a treaty was signed, concluding the war, but also giving Russia considerable influence in the Balkans. This filled Austria-Hungary with rage, despite forming the League of the Three Emperors, which was another alliance between Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Russia. Otto von Bismarck, a Prussian statesman and diplomat, called a conference in 1879 as an attempt to resolve the problem. The treaty that resulted from this conference eventually reversed Russia's gains from the treaty that ended the Russo-Turkish War and repaid the Austrians. Eventually, the League of the Three Emperors had ended, and Germany and Austria-Hungary formed the dual alliance against Russia, just raising an already tense situation in Europe.
Another one of these alliances includes the Triple Alliance.
But what was the Triple Alliance?
Yeah, I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
The Triple Alliance was a military agreement in 1882 between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. This alliance lasted until 1915 in World War I, where Italy was seeking help against a European nation. Ever since the Dual Alliance in 1879, like Daniel talked about, Germany and Austria-Hungary have been closely associated. However, in 1881, when Italy lost their North African ambitions to the French, Italy sought the support of Germany and Austria-Hungary. This alliance provided the terms that Germany and Austria-Hungary would participate. However, if attacked by France. However, in addition, if the war were to occur between Austria-Hungary and Russia, Italy would remain impartial.
Yeah, one of the main alliances of World War I, possibly leading to World War I as a spark to just, having one of the worst wars ever, was the Triple Entente. The Triple Entente was an alliance between France, Great Britain, and Russia, and was signed in 1907. Entente means a friendly or informal alliance in French. The location of these countries had a military advantage, because the 3 countries were surrounding Germany and Austria-Hungary, as well as Italy. The Triple Entente was formed to be prepared to counterattack the Triple Alliance. If a war were to break out in Europe, the Triple Entente developed from the Franco-Russian power, which gradually formed to create the Triple Entente. When Great Britain joined the Triple Entente, each state of the intensified the war's scale and impact, leading to World War I, the war to end all wars.